Okay, in our retro review this week, we're going to talk about the Galileo 7 after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and in the Galileo 7, this is an interesting idea of that they have gone time and again to in the original series, which is what is it that makes a good starship commander? Kirk shows himself to be brilliant, but also one that will take chances, someone who will leave the realm of reasonability sometimes in order to just try something. And more often than not, he's successful at this, and that is something that makes him a good commander. This was something that was underlined in Strange New Worlds when they were talking about Balance of Terror, the situation that existed in Balance of Terror, which if they pushed Pike forward into the future, doing his way would have caused a war with the Romulans. Doing it Kirk's way kept one from happening. And in this case, what we have is the same kind of dynamic between Kirk and Spock, whereas Kirk is going against any possibility of really finding the people who are stranded on the one Class M planet amid this area of disturbance. And Spock considering everything very logically. And what we see here is that while Spock is not a completely uncaring person, it sure looks that way to his shipmates. And of course, with McCoy there to kind of egg them on, it doesn't help anything. The problem that I have with this is that even though this is only a quasi-military organization, being Starfleet, this is a number of situations here and when I think that Spock wasn't properly respected. And only in one instance did Scotty tell them, hey, stand down. Beside that, though, there's a lot of judgmental attitude towards Spock that most of his decisions are not really well heeded. While they obey orders, they certainly don't like it, and they're fairly vocal about that. And something that even in a hopeless situation like they were in, doesn't seem likely that that really would have happened. So that's something that bothers me about this episode. Nevertheless, also it's kind of funny to see the Federation commissioner, who seems to be even more unfeeling than Spock is about the situation. Just, we have other things to do. Let's just leave these men here to die and go on because we want to be there early, don't we? Still, we find in the end Spock doing a leap beyond logic is what saves the day. And what Star Trek has always tried to do, in my opinion, is to say that while we have all of this technology and all the machines and all the reasoning in the world, the human element is what wins out in the end. This ability to leap beyond logic, to be able to imagine that there is a way when everything points to the fact that there isn't one. And in both cases here, in Kirk's and the Federation Commissioners, and of course in Spock's action near the end, that is exactly the case, where you step away from what's reasonable and just take a chance. Sometimes that chance will pay off. So that's the Galileo 7. The only thing that bothers me about this is that later on, everybody thought that was the name of the shuttlecraft, the Galileo 7. The 7 were the 7 crew people who were on the shuttlecraft Galileo. It wasn't really the Galileo 7. There weren't 6 others before it, as far as I know. Later on, they even just put a 7 after the markings on the side, and perhaps even some of the people who were writing for it or setting the sets for it didn't quite understand that. Because they also had the Columbus, that is the other shuttlecraft that they mentioned here. I think it's the only time they ever showed that, or any other shuttlecraft that they had a name for. Later on, of course, they did, with some great amount of thought, various shuttlecraft that were used in the next generation, and generally named them after the series producers. So I'd like to know what you think about this. We don't have much to say about it. It was a good episode. It was well acted. It shows the contrast between Spock and the rest of the crew, the isolation that he has there, and in the end, the care that he has for the crew. But his grasping on to be a logical being, as one of the crewmen said. Perhaps it was McCoy. He will risk his life to go out and save a crewman and then tell him to stay out there. So I'd like you to subscribe if you will, and let me know. Ring the bell if you don't know when the next video is coming your way. We usually try to get them out to you about once a week. And then put some comments below. Let me think of what you think about this. And until next time, don't go far.